And so when I say Chinese, I want you to scream out the nation that's associated with this. For example, if I say Chinese, you're going to say what?
China.
All right, let's say it with authority. When I say Chinese, you say what?
China.
All right, that's just a test right there. So here we go. Chinese.
China.
Russian.
Russia.
Italian.
Italy.
German.
Germany.
Swedish.
Sweden.
Korean.
Korea.
Egyptian.
Egypt.
Nigerian.
Nigeria.
Black.
You know, it's crazy that I stumbled across this video because this is a great example of my point when it comes to so-called black people not having a fucking culture. We do not have a culture, people. Stop getting on my damn comments and scoffing at me with your nonsense and your ignorance. Black is not a culture. This is a perfect example of it because he laid out all the different nations and its associations with whatever landmass, whatever region. With black is nothing because we are scattered abroad. As per the book, as per the scriptures, the Most High tells us that we will be scattered across the four corners of the earth. Therefore, it makes it harder for us to, culturize. It makes it harder for us to have some sort of group when it comes to a uniform understanding of what we adhere to, because we've been cut off based off of our forefathers and their disobedience to the Heavenly Father. That's the truth. The reason why we don't understand this is because we are lost. We are lost in this society. We just don't understand that. That's part of the curses. That's part of the delusion that the Most High has given certain people. A lot of people have different philosophies they lean on, different religions they're a part of, when the true understanding is the Most High doesn't deal with religion. The Most High deals with a heritage. That's culture, a heritage. We are the true Israelites according to the Bible, and that's our culture. It's just that we've been shaken off from it. We've been cut off from it. But in these last days, the Most High is gathering his people, a remnant, so they can understand what time it is. You get all these people who come on comments and they say, oh, Jesus is coming back and you got to convert to him. And it's not all that simple, man. Christ came for Israel. That's in Acts 5:31. That's in Matthew 15:24. Well, I believe Matthew 5:24. But letting you know that Christ only came for Israel. He came out of the tribe of Judah. He was a Judite. If he was on the earth today, he'd be considered an African American. The Jesus Christ that they broach and they talk about in this world is not the Christ of the Bible. They talking about Heru. They talking about Horus. That's why when you see that commercial with this whole campaign of he gets us, Jesus understands us. Why do you think that the color scheme is yellow? Because it represents the sun. It's for the sun god. In this society, the sun god is Christ. But on the left hand side, it's not talking about the accuracy of Christ when it comes to Yahushua, the so-called black man that sprang forth out of the tribe of Judah. When they talk about Jesus Christ, they're not talking about Yahushua. They are talking about Heru, Horus, the person that encapsulated all of the prophetic aspects of Christ going back to Nimrod because of what took place in 325 AD with the amalgamation of the scriptures. Therefore, you have this confusion. And you have these people who associate Christmas with Christ and so on and so forth. That's the confusion. That's talking about the sun god. The reason why I understand that is because of my knowledge of it, as well as the understanding that you put things in context. Why do you think that the lights and all that stuff is something that's prominent during Christmas? Like you put lights on a Christmas tree. The light represents the sun god aspect. It represents enlightenment. He is the sun god. When they talk about Jesus Christ, they are not talking about Yahushua. They are talking about the sun god. Now, there's many different aspects of Christ that's associated with what one may deem the sun in terms of enlightenment, because he said, I am the way, I am the light, I am the truth. But that's only talking about elucidation. That's talking about righteous. That's talking about righteous enlightenment. We live in a left-hand version of enlightenment, and they put that on Christ in terms of, the left-hand understanding because of what took place when it comes to the apostasy, where it tells you, I think in Isaiah, that they wanted to be God. They wanted to encapsulate all the prophetic aspects of God in his son. And that's what they did. When I say they, I'm talking about the original Luciferians, the triumvirate of Cush, Nimrod, and Semiramis. And mainly Nimrod. Nimrod was known as the sun god. That's what it was. Sun brings light and heat, and it also represents, enlightenment. That's why they worship the sun. He was likened unto the sun because he was someone who was a teacher. That's why the number 33 is associated with the sun. When you reach that level, that 33rd zenith, when it comes to the understanding of masonry and whatnot, you become a great teacher. You become a god. The number 33 is associated with the color orange. The color orange is associated with the sun. So the reason why I'm going into this is because we have to have understanding. Most of you brothers don't have the understanding. I'm not disrespecting you brothers. It's not your fault. You people come on my comment section from a standpoint of simplicity, not really understanding the context of what I'm talking about. When I say hip hop is not a culture, I mean that because it's not a fucking culture. Hip hop is just a music genre that's dominated by black people, and we gave it flavor, we gave it style. We did start it, but it's not something that's associated with us when it comes to truth. The Most High did not give us hip hop. Hip hop is not associated with any sort of cultural affinity for the Most High. That's my point. When it comes to so-called black culture, it's supposed to be associated with the Most High and truth and sincerity. And that's pretty much truth culture. Black is not a color. Black is a color. It's not a race. It's not a landmass. It's not a language. Why you think in the beginning of the video when he said black, what did they say? They didn't say anything. Because there's nothing that's associated with black. Black is just a color. Black is a designation that they put on you. When you understand tribes, when you understand affinity when it comes to customs and lineage, that's fucking culture. That's culture. Yes, music is a part of it. But I'm not talking about hip hop. The music that's based in, a way of life when it comes to what's associated with a certain group and a certain culture. Obviously, you have many different cultures where music is associated with that culture. Hip hop is not associated with our real culture. Hip hop is frivolous. Hip hop is something that's created by the people in power. That's just what it is. That's my point of it. You simple-minded people keep coming in the comments and you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Because you're very, very simple. It tells you in the scriptures that we are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Oh, ye simple ones, how long will you love simplicity? My YouTube channel, I try to make sure that, I'm on a consistent basis of context. Like, I don't like simple. Don't bring simple here. If you're gonna comment with something that has to do with something of substance. Don't bring me no simple bullshit, man. And I say that with all love and respect. I'm not saying I know everything, but I know what I know and I can prove it. Black people, so-called blacks, we don't have no culture. We are lost. We are confused in this society based off of prophecy. When we embrace the understanding of the scriptures, that helps us understand what our culture really is. But, we can't necessarily enact a real culture in this society because everything is all upside down. Everything is all over the place. Everything is confusion based. Every single thing is confusion based. If we had a uniform understanding of what we adhere to mutually, and we adhere to mutual customs, we have a mutual language, we dance to the same song mutually, we have the same type of music that we listen to, as well as the music that's of us when it comes to our heritage and whatnot. We don't really have that. We have hip hop, but that's not real culture. Back in the ancient times, our people sang to the Lord. Kwambaya, my Lord, come to me, my Lord. Back in the days, our people danced and sang. But it wasn't no damn frivolous hip hop. It wasn't no shake your ass, let that coochie breathe. It wasn't that dumb shit. That's what I'm talking about. That's not culture, man. That's not culture, bro. It's not.
Egyptian. Nigerian. Black.
Tell him, Pastor. Black, nothing.
I hope you were able to successfully identify the issue.
So in the beginning of this video, as you saw, the brother Pastor Kelly was just going into different aspects of nations that's associated with regions, and how black isn't associated with anything because it's not cultural, it's not real, it's fictitious, right? So that's how you understand things in context. So I wanted to use that backdrop as a reference point as well as the understanding that you guys should check out the video because he goes into the accuracy of the Most High's name. The Most High's name is Yahweh. He is. He's ubiquitous. He just is. That's what his name means. It just means he is, meaning like he's just here. There's no beginning, there's no end. He just is. He's ubiquity. That's the Most High's name, Yahweh. And when you understand like the name Jehovah, Jehovah is just a modern day version of the name Yahweh. The letter J is interchangeable with the letter Y. The letter V is interchangeable with the letter W. Why you think in Germany they, like for example, like Dirk Nowitzki, you know, there's a W in his name. People say Nowitzki, but it's really Nowitzki. But the W and the V is pretty much interchangeable. That's how interesting languages are, and when it comes to certain words, especially back in the ancient times, and how you break it down. But the Most High's name is Yahweh. That's his name. His name is Yahweh. Even when you look at the word Yahweh, you still pronounce it as Yahweh. It's just that people pronounce it based off of how, you know, it's spelled out. But if you really, you know, look at it, you understand that you can pronounce it as Yahweh, 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 Yahweh. You get what I'm saying? But it's Yahweh. That's his name, Yahweh. So Ezekiel 37 just goes into the land of the dry bones, meaning the people that are spiritually dead. Most of our people are spiritually dead. That's why they lean on stuff like hip hop, and they try to make that seem as if that's a culture, African American culture. That's not a fucking culture. You know, I don't mean to cuss too much, but that's not a culture. And there's nothing wrong with necessarily cussing during the scriptures or reading the scriptures while reading the scriptures, but you know, you don't want to be too reckless. So excuse my language. Let's just get into Ezekiel 37. The hand of the Lord was upon me and carried me out in the spirit of the Lord and set me down in the midst of the valley which was full of bones. So Ezekiel is pretty much prophesying. He has this vision when it comes to the understanding of the oracles given to him by the Heavenly Father. The hand of the Lord was upon him and caused me to pass by them round about, and behold, there were very many in the open valley, and lo, they were very, very dry. They were very dry. And he said unto me, Son of man, can these bones live? And I answered, O Lord power, thou knowest. Again he said unto me, prophesy upon these bones, and say unto them, O ye dry bones, hear the word of the Lord. So the dry bones is pretty much talking about the spiritually dead people. That's what it's going into. Thus saith the Lord power unto these bones, behold, I will cause breath to enter into you, and ye shall live. Remember, the Most High breathed the breath of life into the nostrils of Adam. The breath of life is talking about the natural understanding of what you're supposed to uphold, what you're supposed to adhere to when it comes to the knowledge, the wisdom, the understanding, the commandments. That was given unto Adam at first, but Adam, you know, he pretty much failed. He failed the Most High, and he fell. That's why you had to have Moses come on the scene. Adam opened the door for sin. And the reason why Adam was dealt that way was because the Most High gave him something that was based in a blessing, that was based in something that Adam was supposed to uphold to in righteousness, and he did not do that. He disobeyed the Heavenly Father, and that's why he fell. That's why he is the man of sin. That's why he is Saturn. That's what Adam is. Why do you think you got a movie called Black Adam? That's a play on Saturnian principles. Adam was Saturn. If you really understand in context, that's something I could really get into in other videos. But Adam was Saturn, right? Thus saith the Lord power unto these bones, behold, I will cause breath to enter into you, and ye shall live. And I will lay sinews upon you, and bring up flesh upon you. Yeah, I will make you whole. You know, I will make you a body, and I will give you light. I will give you understanding. I will elucidate you, and cover you with skin, and put breath in you, and you shall live, and you shall know that I am the Lord. So I prophesied as I was commanded, and as I prophesied, there was a noise, and behold, a shaking, and the bones came together, bone to his bone. And when I beheld, lo, the sinews and the flesh came up upon them, and the skin covered them above, but there was no breath in them. See, I touched on this before when it comes to this chapter, but I wanted to go into it again because it really speaks to the topic of this video when it comes to most of our people not really understanding what a culture is, being spiritually dead, because we've been mistaught in this society. Like, we've been taught lies about the Bible, so it's easy for us to say, oh, the Bible is bull crap and this and that. The Bible is the white man book, without even having read the Bible. When you read the scriptures, you understand that this comes from a black man. This comes from black men, so-called black men. This cannot be of the spirit of any white man. If you read the scriptures, you understand the scriptures. It's totally opposite of the world that we live in today. And this world is governed by so-called white people in terms of the people in power. When it comes to certain agendas that come from this vibration, it's totally opposed to the Bible. So no, it was not written by no white man. Try again. Learn something. Take your time. That's what you have to do. You have to take your time with these things so you can really understand it fully. Certain people don't take their time. Take your time. And when I beheld, lo, the sinews and the flesh came up upon them, and the skin covered them above, but there was no breath in them. Right, they were spiritually dead. Most of these people, you know, they have the sinews and the flesh and the skin and the bones, but they're still spiritually dead. It's very important for us to understand the spiritual aspect and grasp it and embrace it. Right? Then said he unto me, prophesy unto the wind, prophesy, son of man, and say to the wind, thus saith the Lord power, come from the four winds, O breath, and breath upon these slain, that they may live. So I prophesied as he commanded me, and the breath came into them, and they lived, and stood up upon their feet, an exceeding great army. Then he said unto me, son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel. Culture. The reason why I'm emphasizing this is because the Bible is only for the Israelites. Despite what people may think when it comes to whatever church doctrine you adhere to or whatnot, the same book that you're reading out of in any church system, it's only for Israel. It's just that we live in a world where people think that it's meant for everybody because of what's taken place over time through the annals of history. That's just what it is, especially when it comes to the apostasy. The apostasy is what made the book pretty much available for everybody, but the book is still the book. The book is still between the Most High and his people. It just is. It's just that we live in Satan's kingdom where things are upside down and people don't really have a hand on the truth. Only a certain remnant of his people have a hand on the truth. That's why we can get it. We can grasp it. Certain people can't grasp this. Even the people that like to thump and say, oh, Jesus is going to come and save everybody, and they cannot grasp this. This is talking about Israel. It's only for Israel. That's what it is. The Bible is FUBU. For us, by us. It's for Israel and it's by Israel. That's just what it is. It's the truth. It's the truth. When you understand that, you have a better appreciation for what your position is on this earth when it comes to you being blessed by the Heavenly Father, you being given a certain strength that's disparate from other people because you're an Israelite. You are the prince of the power, Yasha Allah. These white people that walk around with yarmulkes, like I said, they're not the real Jews. They're not the real Israelites. They stole our heritage. And that goes with what their makeup is. They steal, they lie, they deceive. That's in the book of Obadiah. I'm going to get into that, just so we can have an understanding of context in regards to people that want to scoff and say, we not the Israelites. Shut your simple self up and be quiet. We are the Israelites. And it makes so much sense when it comes to us having a certain notion about ourselves before we came into the knowledge. It's like, oh, verification, confirmation. That's what it does. I'm not even going to get into the full book of Ezekiel chapter 37. I just wanted to get into this for context in regards to, emphasizing the fact that we are in the land of the dry bones. We are in the land of Ezekiel 37 with these people who are spiritually dead, who have no understanding. Only a remnant of us have an understanding. And that's how the Most High works. He works with remnants. He doesn't work with large populations, large sizes, large crowd. He doesn't work with that. And I'm not speaking for God. I'm speaking based off of what I understand about the Most High. The Most High deals with the lowly, the remnant, the few. That's just what it is. Nothing that's dominated when it comes to these religions is of the Heavenly Father. None of it. Muslim, Buddhism, Wicca, none of this stuff is of the Heavenly Father. Especially if it's dominated by a lot of people. It's not of God, bro. It's not of God. That's why it's only 144,000 people that's meant to be saved. That's why it's only 1/3 that's meant to be saved. Therefore prophesy and say unto them, thus saith the Lord power, behold, O my people, I will open your graves and cause you to come up out of your graves and bring you into the land of Israel. Right. Also going into the aspect of resurrection, when some of our people will be saved and go into a new land, inherit the kingdom. Then he said unto me, just going back up to verse 11, then he said unto me, Son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel. Behold, they say our bones are dry, and our hope is lost. We are cut off for our parts. We are cut off for our parts, and our hope is lost. In these days, the Most High is gathering his people. The hope is lost when it comes to most of our people who shirk off the understanding. But in these days, the Most High is gathering his people. That's why you can go to Baruch and you can get into the precept of, in the land of our captivities, we shall remember ourselves. This is our captivity. These people that claim to be Jews and Israelites, they're not in captivity. What's going on in Palestine is not of any aspect of truth and sincerity when it comes to the Most High. It's not. It's not. This is confusion. This is Babylon. The real truth lies within the understanding that so-called black man and woman, you are an Israelite according to the truth, the understanding, the history, archaeological findings, so on and so forth. Yes, you are. Whether you like it or not. So-called black man and woman of captivity, you are an Israelite. You are God's chosen. And shall put my spirit in you, and you shall live, and I shall place you in your own land. Then shall ye know that I, the Lord, have spoken it, and performed it, saith the Lord. The word of the Lord came again unto me, saying, Moreover, thou son of man, take thee one stick, and write it upon it, for Judah, and for the children of Israel, his companions. Then take another stick, and write upon it, for Joseph, the stick of Ephraim, and for all the house of Israel, his companions. Just talking about the southern kingdom and the northern kingdom coming back together. And they showed that in that movie, Planet of the Apes, when the ape, he took the two sticks, and he broke it, but then he put it back together, let you know that that's prophecy, where we'll come together, Ephraim and the rest of the tribes, Judah, Ephraim and Judah being the Puerto Ricans and the African Americans, but also being the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom, associated with Ephraim being the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom being associated with Judah. Very important for us to understand these things based off of what is laid out in the scriptures in regards to our history, because that's what it is. It's about our history. It's about our history. And I'm gonna go more into this, and this is gonna be a series. This doesn't stop at part 3. We're gonna go more into this, right? And join them one to another into one stick, and they shall become one in thine hand. Talking about the southern kingdom and the northern kingdom coming together for the whole of Israel to be saved based off of prophecy. And when the children of thy people shall speak unto thee, saying, Wilt thou not show us what thou meanest by these? Say unto them, Thus saith the Lord power, Behold, I will take the stick of Joseph, which is in the hand of Ephraim, and the tribes of Israel his fellows, and will put them with him, even with the stick of Judah, and make them one stick, and they shall be one in mine hand. Southern kingdom, northern kingdom coming together. That's what it's about. And remember, this is from the Planet of the Apes. I believe it's the Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. It's one of them where you see the ape, he breaks the sticks and he put them back together, representing the southern kingdom and the northern kingdom, the whole of Israel. Very important that we understand these things, because art imitates life, and the people that direct and produce these movies, they know who we are. They know who we are. The upper levels of society, they understand the truth about the world. It's just that they have to push narratives and agendas and lies, because that's the power of Satan. That's how they get down. But they have to have the understanding of the truth in order for them to tell the lies that they tell and disseminate. But yeah, man, I don't want to get too much into Ezekiel 37. I just wanted to bring out a point. I'm sure most of you brothers understand Ezekiel 37 and what that's in reference to, in regards to the prophetic aspect of these days and what's to come in regards to Israel coming together the right way.